This is the Reds POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday, and welcome to another edition of the Locked On Reds POSTCAST, brought to you by the Locked On Podcast Network. My name is Tim Daniel. I've been covering the Reds in podcast form for over 5 years of publications such as Late Night Reds and The Riverfront. Hope you all are having a lovely Sunday, Mother's Day, that doesn't involve the Reds, because they did not give us a Sunday to be excited about on their end by any means, with a 6-0 loss today to the Houston Astros. But the good news is we have an off day tomorrow. It's the best I got. So if you are checking me out for the first time, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I'm sorry this is the day you had to do it. And if you are also checking out Locked On and you are not subscribed to us, please do, because you can get not just my show here after every single Reds game, but Monday through Friday, you can get Jeff Carr and Stephen Baker on Locked On Reds. Today's show is brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. Make your first $5 bet, get you wins, you get $200 in bonus bets at FanDuel.com. On today's show, Ronel Blanco blanked the Reds. That's a play on words, blanked, but you guys get it. Chase Petty struggles again. Defense. What was it today? Nothing. Whole lot of nothing. So not a lot of happiness to talk about in this game, as the Reds yet lose another series where they lost the first game of the set. So let's go ahead and let's talk about it, shall we, folks?
This is what you'll be talking about.
Well, this wasn't fun. Yet again. Ronel Blanco, well, I guess if you're an Astros fan, it was plenty fun. Ronel Blanco was incredible. And there are plenty of times, and this is one of them, where I will tip my hat to the pitcher, who was excellent today, because he was, in fact, awesome. 8 innings, a 2-hit ball, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts. He was tremendous. He was awesome. He looked like a guy who threw a no-hitter last year. He was absolutely great. And the Reds had no clue, at least looked like they had no clue, or if they did have a clue, just looked like they had nothing they could throw at him to get him off track, because he was hitting everything. Man, today where TJ Friedl gets on base with a walk, but the Reds today as a team, 2 hits. The Reds as a team, 12 strikeouts. The Reds as a team, 2 walks. The Reds as a team, 0 of 7 with runners in scoring position. This is becoming a trend. This is becoming a theme. This is something we're seeing a lot of, especially on this long road trip, where this team, basically since the 5-game win streak, I should really say, since the start of the Cardinal series, where they've consistently struggled with runners in scoring position. They've consistently struggled to put balls in play and move runners over. They've consistently struggled with different things where they just, I don't know. I mean, I'm at a loss of words. I don't know what I'm saying different today than I've said different, besides yesterday, of course, when they scored 10 runs in an inning. Patrick says here, did we not have a hitting coach? Do we not use analytics? I heard on the Power Stacks podcast that old Chris Faleka says he wants to use the bunt more. That's going to help. 4 left on base today. Sucks. Ellie, 3 strikeouts. Not good. Spencer Steer and Jose Trevino, the only hits today. And Trevino's hit was a nice double. That guy just hits. So I don't know what to talk about. I mean, I don't know what to say about this anymore, because we're at this point where this offense is continuously doing the same things over and over again. They don't look any different than they did last year. I think Ellie's approach going into this stretch had really improved. And then lately, I mean, he went 2 weeks without having a multi-strikeout game. And now he has had 3 this week, where he's had more than 1 strikeout. Matt McLean, he got a walk, tried to bunt for a single. I don't know why he tried to do that, but that didn't work out very well. And Spencer Steer had a nice hit. He's had a pretty brutal road trip, so there was that, but not a whole lot to talk about. I mean, just kind of consistently having this situation where we see this offense who can't seem to string hits together. They can't seem to be consistent. They can't seem to figure out situational hitting. It's just not a thing with them. And I cannot figure out why. Why are we still sitting in this rut? They still feel stuck. They still feel like we're looking at like just kind of the outside looking in. It looks like they're a team that just, I don't know if it's a organization thing. I don't know if this is a new hitting coach thing, because I'm not anti Chris Valaika by any means. I honestly think that it was probably, I didn't hate the hire. Hire's not looking too good this week. This basically since in the month of May. Yeah, I don't know. Because I feel like the philosophy just kind of seems like it's like all over the place. This is kind of where things are going with this team, and I don't get it. I hope that it gets better. The White Sox coming to town. Hopefully you can get your offense going again. Maybe they can just be a Band-Aid like the Connor Joe trade was, and you can kind of get things going again, because you got pretty tough stretch after the White Sox. You've got after the White Sox, you've got, let's see, where am I? You got the Guardians. Oh no, actually, if you just get through the Guardians, you got the White Sox and the Pirates in the Guardians right there in the middle. But then you do have the Cubs, the Royals, the Cubs again, and the Brewers, and the Diamondbacks, and the Guardians in series after that. So these White Sox games, things got to change. Things got to get better. Things have to improve. Guys got to figure this out. Maybe an off day is what everyone needs. Maybe we just everyone can clear their head. Everyone can kind of just take a deep breath, and maybe the Reds can get things going, because Lord knows, coming on here every day and we're all mad because we can't seem to figure out what's going on. I'm with y'all. I'm with you. So today, just another day where the Reds can't hit, and really didn't do anything very well, because we're going to talk about Chase Petty here in the next segment, where yet again, looked like he just kind of was still figuring things out as he goes. And we're going to talk about that right after this. Okay, computer, thanks for helping me out here. Looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious? Crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts, each one ounce serving at 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to keep you feeling fuller longer. Tons of great flavors on that no-shell variety: jalapeno, lime, smoked barbecue, so many great things. And if you are looking for, I do prefer to have that satisfaction of cracking the shell, that is an option as well. Get snacking and get cracking with the snackin packs of protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. Today's episode is also brought to you by Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money is not just a budgeting app, it's the complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you just stop managing your money and start building your wealth. It also tells you where you're probably spending your money a little too much. Like me, as I said in the past, I love going to Fanatics. I love buying Reds hats, Reds apparel, too much. Probably shouldn't buy any more of it the way the team's playing. But Monarch Money showed me, Tim, it's time to get a little more pick and choosy with that stuff and figure out what you really need and what is just something that is a dopamine hit to make you happy because the Reds lost again today. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first order. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB, to have 50% off your first year. Thank you all for hanging out with me on an unfortunate day to be a Cincinnati Reds fan, as the Reds lose 6-0 today to the Houston Astros. If you are checking us out for the first time, please, thank you so much, and go ahead and subscribe to us here on YouTube. If you can't watch us on YouTube, subscribe to us on your podcast app of choice. We're on each and every one. You can get my show. You can get Jeff and Steve Monday through Friday as well. And guys, let's just I don't know, do we have one here? See where this game kind of got out of hand.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
I feel like this game was simply won or lost when we had the situation of Yainer Diaz's home run that made it 3-0, and the Reds couldn't capitalize from there and make it anything going because Ronel Blanco just took full care of business. Chase Petty today. Chase Petty looked, once again, not ready for a major league game. And what's really irritating about this is that this is the guy we keep hearing about who's like the next in line. This is the guy that's like, he's going to come up and he's going to kind of take over. This is the guy that's like, no, we can't trade Chase Petty to improve the team because he's going to be really good. We have so many starting pitchers in the system, and they do. But, and look, I understand this is only his second big league game. So I'm not calling this like saying that he's done and he's not going to be any good. But there are things where you're seeing him kind of really be disappointing. Today, 6 walks, a lot of full counts. That was really frustrating. Did have 4 strikeouts and did have some nice plays. Did have some nice plays as well where they had a nice double play there in the first inning as well that he got the defense behind him, but just kind of looked, I don't know if it's just adrenaline. I don't know what it is. Brantley kind of talked about it a little bit on the broadcast where it's a guy just trying to find a spot. Trevino definitely trying to do his best to kind of coach him, just be like, it's just you and me. And it just didn't seem like it was going anywhere. We're right now at the situation with Chase Petty where if Hunter Green's going to miss another start or two, are we sure we can throw Chase Petty out there? Because if things go the way they are, his next start is against the Guardians. And that's a team who, although didn't have a great series against the Phillies this weekend, has a lot of boppers, has a lot of big hitters. And if you're going to face a major league team, you're going to face good hitters. So maybe you just kind of go out there and see what happens. But I don't know how much you can trust him right now, as both of his starts have been long bullpen days. This bullpen already pretty taxed from how much they had to be used throughout this road trip. A 7-game road trip, they win 2 of them. And they have, besides the rain out before the doubleheader in St. Louis, they haven't had an off day in 12 days, so they had to use the bullpen a lot, whether that's a starter injury or situations like this. So just kind of with him, you really needed him to have a better day, and he just wasn't able to put that together. So that was really frustrating. I hope that, this gets better. John, no. Have you heard of Chase Burns? Chase Burns is the dude. And hopefully they can figure out how he doesn't run into this. But right now, they got to find something there. They got to figure something out. I mean, I think he's going to get better, but we got to figure out how he can just be consistent and not walk guys, because that's where we're at right now. Is if you could just not walk guys, maybe you have a shot at the Reds kind of doing something. I don't know. I'm going as we go. But hey, the bullpen did all right. Gave up 2 runs and pitched 6 innings again today for the second day in a row. And Brent Suter had an inning. Scott Barlow didn't look very good in his inning. Taylor Rogers coming in for him. His stat line looks pretty good. And then Lyon Richardson had a solid 9th inning. So Lyon Richardson's been far better than I thought he was going to be for this team. And we'll go ahead and we'll call him the Locked On Player of the Game, shall we?
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
That's pretty sad that we're at that point, right? I mean, look, anyone who knows me, knows how long I've been covering this team, has followed me from previous shows, know that I'm normally pretty optimistic. I can normally find a way to make things sound like they could be better. This is really rough right now. This is really hard. So Lyon Richardson for your 9th inning, where you did boink Victor Carantini. We'll go ahead and give you the Locked On Player of the Game today. One other thing that really frustrated me today, shocking, I know, the defense. And before I hear it, yes, Ellie De La Cruz had another error. I'm well aware. And there was also a dropped ball in between Ellie and Gavin Lux that just blooped right in the middle of them. There was a low throw that would turn into could have been a double play from Ellie to McLean. And there was the ball that ate up Espinal at third base that started the 3-0 rally for the Astros on that home run. Defense, the Reds consistently this year, honestly, for every bad thing we can say about how frustrated they've been pretty solid defensively most of the time. They've had some bad defensive games for sure, but this was one where it seemed like their defense was just long gone and they couldn't ever get anything together and they couldn't make any plays, and it didn't help them at all in this game as well either. So I suspect the defense will step up and get better. I really like the way that this defense kind of is played out, honestly, for the most part. I think, Benson's a solid athlete as a right fielder. I think Gavin Lux has been a little better defensively than we thought he would at third base. Friedo's obviously going to cover ground in center. And then I know the errors are there, but I still think the range you get from Ellie De La Cruz at shortstop is better than really anyone else. And look, I think it's fair to kind of be with Ellie De La Cruz. Like, yeah, you should 100% hold him accountable for all the attention he gets. But guys have these years, and it's just May. I mean, who knows what he does in June on? It could be better, it could be worse, but we're just kind of going to have conversations like he's overrated this and that. Like, let's pump the brakes. Like, it's going to be okay. I think that, 6 homers this year. Obviously want to see that get up. Want to see the walks get back up. But I still feel like there's very few people I'd want on my team more than him as far as like covering ground and shortstop. So, but we'll see how it goes. We got a lot of baseball to go, and I'm just trying to be happy because today stunk, and we all know it stunk. But the beauty is we're off tomorrow. We can all kind of relax, and we can all get back together on Tuesday when the White Sox come to town. But today, the Cincinnati Reds are losers 6-0 to the Houston Astros. The Astros 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors. The Reds 0 runs, 2 hits, 1 error. Ronel Blanco is your winning pitcher. He is now looking at 3-3 of the 4 ERA, and Chase Petty is your loser, 0-2 of the 21.94 ERA. The Reds are back at it on Tuesday at home against the Chicago White Sox. Andrew Abbott takes the hill. He is currently 2-0 with a 2.25 ERA. He will be going against the White Sox Jonathan Cannon, who is 2-4 with a 4.09 ERA. That first pitch is at 6:40. I am Tim Daniel. I'll be here probably about 9:30 or so on Tuesday night. I hope everyone has a great Mother's Day, and I hope everyone really has a great time. I can't wait to talk to you guys on Tuesday. Hopefully we're celebrating a win and a nice start to a new series. Take it easy, everybody.